If you recall, the first term we looked at was Ex works or EXW. And in that term, the seller had minimum obligations. In DDP, Delivery Duty Paid, the seller has maximum obligations. So what is DDP? In DDP, the seller is responsible for delivering the goods at the named place in the country of the buyer and pays all the costs in bringing the goods to the destination, including import duties and taxes. So as we mentioned in the intro, okay, the seller in this case has more obligations. I mean, other than just saying that come collect your goods, they have to bring those goods up to where, you agreed. And then they are going to pay all the charges in relation to those goods, again, as agreed. The most important consideration for DDP term is that the seller is tasked with the responsibility for clearing the goods through customs in the buyer's country. This will include things like paying import duties and taxes. It also includes obtaining the necessary authorization and registrations from the authorities in that country. Now, unless you really understand the rules and regulations in the buyer's country, you shouldn't be using these on. I mean, as a seller, you really want to try and negotiate so that you don't end up in this kind of scenario. Because if you don't know, I mean, try to imagine you're a small shipping, company in, not even a shipping company. Just try to imagine that you're a manufacturing company in, say, Africa, okay? Or India, or whatever it is, or Brazil. And you are trying to import these things to a country like Sweden or UK and, or even France. And then you realize that most of those countries don't exactly have the kind of taxes that will favor you if you're in any of those countries that I've just mentioned. Then again, I'm just saying. So you don't want to have maximum obligations as a seller if you're using that term and you're dealing with a buyer who's from that or any of those countries that I've mentioned. Now, sometimes as a buyer or as a party in that contract, you may end up realizing that the seller, in as much as you like what they're supplying, they are not in a position to actually do whatever it is in terms of regulations that your country require as the buyer. So in that case, you may end up wishing to exclude some of the obligations when you're using this term. So how do you go about it? In that case, you should clarify this by adding words to this effect, something like delivery duty paid, VAT unpaid. This term should be used by suppliers who are advanced, okay, who understand rules in the buyer's country. That also concludes the first part of Incoterms, which dealt with rules regarding any mode of transport. In the next video and series of videos, we're going to be talking about rules regarding sea and inland waterway transport. I'm Moses from Zeret Network, and I'll see you in the next video.